Earlier this week, we learned that charges were stayed in the case of Serenity, a 4-year-old Alberta girl who was discovered malnourished and bruised. Serenity's guardians were charged with failing to provide the necessaries of life in 2014 after the girl was rushed to hospital with a head injury. A report by Alberta's Child and Youth Advocate said doctors noted Serenity had bruises in various stages of healing. The child died soon after. Serenity had been living with family members designated through the Kinship Care Program. After reviewing the evidence, Alberta's Crown prosecutors determined there wasn't a reasonable likelihood of conviction. Danielle Smith from Global News Radio 770 CHQR joins us to continue this conversation. Danielle, you're speaking with Serenity's mother today.
Well, and I want to find out whether or not she knew this was coming or if she just found out that the charges were going to be stayed through the media, which again would point to, I think, some big communication problems, which has been the problem with this case all the way along. I don't know what to make of it because we have had basically a blackout on being able to get information from the Justice Department, which has now made this decision. They issued a statement saying, yes, it's all very sad. The decision was made by staff and something else may happen in the future, so I can't comment. So meanwhile, you have all of this news reporting that was done. Paula Simons being one of the principal columnists who was reporting on this, the state that the child showed up at the hospital with bruising, anal bruising, vaginal bruising, weighing the same weight as a 9-month-old, even though she was 4.5 years old, having a head injury that couldn't have been explained by an accident. You would think that that would be a slam dunk case to say that that they failed to provide the necessaries of life. It's not like they're asking for a murder charge or a manslaughter charge. They're just asking for the same kind of charge that we've seen be successfully taken to court many times before in the case of children dying in the care of their parents when they didn't seek proper medical attention. So I'm kind of mystified about the nature of the evidence, why they felt they couldn't get a conviction. But then you hear from the other side, the lawyer on the other side saying that the information that's in the public realm is false, that the publication ban needs to be lifted because the real enemy here is children's services. So I think that there needs to be some more clarity from the government about why it is that they dropped the charges. Was it because the information on the child's condition was false? Was it because they can't figure out who was responsible for injuring her? Or was it because there was so much bureaucratic bungling that they made so many mistakes that they couldn't get a conviction because of that reason? I think we need to know. So we're going to see if we can get started on finding some of those answers today.
Listen, whatever happens with this case or doesn't happen with this case, does this set a precedent or lack thereof for cases like this in the future?
Oh, I think the sad part would be that I think the Indigenous communities are going to feel let down, no matter what, because you've got an Indigenous family who is hurting, wanting to see all of this aired in court, and now they've been denied justice. You also have the fact that all of the missteps that happened along the way, the battle between the different departments, the failure to get information out, the jurisdictional issues, the fact that they didn't really take it seriously for years as well, like that also, I think, lets down the Indigenous community saying, do you take deaths in our community as seriously as you take them for non-Indigenous kids? And so I think there's some good reasons for us to get more information on the table, and I think it's incumbent upon the government to do that.
Yeah, and you can hear more on this on Danielle's show starting at 9:30 on Global News Radio. Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you.